Racing games are my favorite types of video games. Whether it be arcade racing, simulation, kart racing, it doesn't matter. I love me a good racing game. The Switch's library does have a few racing games of its own, so it's no surprise I own quite a few. So with that said, one of the things I wanted to do for a very long time was make a dedicated video to what I think are some of the best racing games on the Nintendo Switch. I'm really happy to finally make this video. Anyway, I got 10 racing games for you today, so hang on, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and here's 10 of the best racing games for the Nintendo Switch. First up on the list is Rise Race the Future. Rise is an interesting choice for me, considering at launch the game wasn't as well received as the developers hoped it would be. I mean, it looked pretty nice graphics wise, but the gameplay decisions weren't nearly as great. Fortunately, the developers have released a number of patches and updates over the last couple of years, and have taken this game from one of the mid-racing games on the Switch to one of its best. They have improved the AI, a bunch of settings are here for your driving experience, they have improved frame rates, including a 60 FPS mode, co-op gameplay, multiplayer options, and more. It's absolutely impressive what they have continued to add to this game, and it's far different from where it was at launch. And yes, they somehow have continued to improve its graphics too. It's a fun and beautiful arcade racing game that's worth checking out. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled is probably the best kart racing game on the platform that isn't Mario Kart. It's a remastered version of Crash Team Racing, the PlayStation Classic, but features a bunch of additional content from Crash Nitro Kart and Crash Team Racing. The racing in this is pretty good. If you like the other Crash racers, you will love this one. And if you've never played one before, this has all the features from most kart racing games, including a bunch of power-ups. But the Crash series has heavy emphasis on trying to boost as much as you possibly can. Trust me, if you look up videos on how people boost in this game, it's absolutely insane. So if you're looking for more of a skill-based kart racing game, this is definitely up your alley. But for casual players, don't let that intimidate you. You'll still get plenty of fun out of this one. There's a lot of gameplay options, online multiplayer, lots of characters, and plenty of challenges in this game. Horizon Chase Turbo is an arcade racing game that's definitely retro-inspired. It reminds me a lot of the Outrun series. This game has a lot going on for a small package, with over 100 tracks in the game, over 30 cars to unlock, and a bunch of upgrades. Plus, it has 4-screen local and online multiplayer. I really love the easy pick-up and play gameplay in this one. If you really like arcade racing games from the late 80s, early 90s, then you really need to get this game. It's absolutely fantastic. Asphalt 9 has a huge thing going for it, and that is, it's free to play on the Switch. I absolutely love this arcade racer on the Switch. It looks gorgeous, runs at a fast frame rate, and definitely is taking a bunch of cues from the Burnout franchise. It's crazy how much there is to do. It's absolutely insane how much you can do in this game, in both daily missions and single player modes. The career mode alone will just last you for ages. There's online and local multiplayer too. It's really packed for a free-to-play game. Though that said, it is a free-to-play game though, so word of warning, you're gonna come across some gross bundles in the shop to buy inside this game. But I will tell you, you do not need any of that to enjoy this game at all. And if you wish to purchase some stuff in this game, just be careful, just know what you're getting yourself into. But regardless, you do not need to purchase anything from the shop to enjoy this game. It's a great game to pick up and play every now and then for some quick arcade fun, and I highly recommend it. Hot Shot Racing is another retro-inspired arcade racer, though this one is inspired directly by the early Polygon racers of the early to mid 1990s. I have a big fondness for those types of racing games, so this one is a personal favorite of mine. Just like a lot of those early Polygon racers, Hot Shot Racing has a heavy emphasis on drifting, which you'll need to master in order to become successful at this game. There's a ton of modes in this game, including online multiplayer with 8 players online, so just like Horizon Chase Turbo, it's a good value in a small package. The developers even released a major free update that adds a bunch of additional content to the game. It's a really nice game for just $20. I really love the Cruisin' series. So I was jumping up and down when I heard that Cruisin' Blast, the latest in the series, was making its jump from the arcades to the Switch. It's an excellent port. I love the gameplay. It has a ton of over-the-top moments. It's very action-filled. It's in your face. I absolutely love it. It has split-screen local multiplayer, plenty of cars to unlock that range from regular cars all the way up to unicorns and T-Rexes. Yes, you can race as a T-Rex in this game. It's nuts and a thrill to play every time. It just brings a smile to my face. For those who haven't gotten the game yet, on the eShop, they have reduced the price. It is now permanently $20 MSRP, and for that price, it is definitely worth adding it to your collection. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered is an updated version of the 2010 classic, featuring updated visuals and cross-platform play. It's an excellent game to play, and the Switch port is very good and it runs very well on the system. This has all the main DLC from the original release, and you'll have hours and hours of things to do in this game. And actually, I'm going to combine things here, as EA and Criterion did another remastered racing game for the Switch, and that is Burnout Paradise Remastered. Now, I like both franchises, but I have to say I'm a little bit more fond of the Burnout series. Just like Need for Speed, this one has all the DLC that was originally released for the game, and it's just as fun as it ever was back on its original release. Though I have to say that this one impresses me more, as it runs as smooth as butter at 60 frames per second in both docked and handheld modes. It's very impressive. Either one, Burnout Paradise Remastered or Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, will do you a lot of good to have in your collection, but you know what? You should get both. You'll thank me later. Grid Autosport is a labor of love. It's not just a port, it's a masterpiece. It just might be the best racing game on the platform. Codemasters have taken their 2014 game and custom fitted this for the Switch. It runs amazing. It has a ton of updates not featured in the original game, lots of options to fit to your experience and preferences, and lots of visual modes. It looks gorgeous on the Switch, and it is one of the best looking games on the platform. And this is all on top of all the original content that was packed to the brim. It really is fantastic. You might have noticed something, that this game really stands out on the list. It's a simulation racing game. Up to this point, you've pretty much heard me talk about arcade or kart racing games. And that really is the majority of racing games on the Switch. It is kart and arcade racing games. It's completely dominated by those type of games. We really need to see more of them on the Switch. Luckily, we got one of the best ones in Grid Autosport. Okay, no one is going to be surprised here. I mean, what's a racing game list for the Switch without Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the best-selling game on the platform? I'd be fooling myself if I didn't include the game. Honestly, anybody would be fooling themselves if they didn't include that game on the list. It's a fantastic game, offline and online, lots of great tracks, looks fantastic on the Switch, lots of characters, kart customization, and even includes an updated battle mode. It's one of the best entries in the series, and is still going strong all these years later. And it's one of the best multiplayer games for the platform, and it's only going to get better, because Nintendo announced a DLC expansion of 48 tracks. I can't even wrap my head around that. 48 tracks. And when it's all said and done, history might say that this may be one of the best racing games ever made. If for some reason you don't own it for the Switch already, you probably should rectify that. And that ends our list. That is, at least for the moment, what I think are the best 10 racing games for the Nintendo Switch. You've heard me talk about what I think are the best racing games for the Nintendo Switch. Now I'm curious to hear what yours are. Let me know in the comments down below, what are your favorite racing games? What do you think are the best racing games for the Nintendo Switch? Anyway, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. It lets me know that you appreciate it. And if you're not yet a subscriber, you should consider clicking that subscribe button, because I post new videos each and every week, and you definitely don't want to miss a single one. Patreon members, I thank you for your support. I appreciate it. Through that support, it helps me to create content for the channel. If you would like to additionally support the channel, check out the Patreon. That's all for today, though. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.